Temptation and sin. He preached about hidden wrongs and the price of secrecy. To some it sounded like confession. To others it sounded like a cry for help. Then one Sunday morning he abruptly canceled service. No explanation, no notice. Just a locked door and a note that read, "Service postponed until further notice." That was the moment people started to wonder what was really happening inside that church. And for Angela, it was the beginning of something she couldn't escape. It was a Friday night in late October. The air was cold, the streets quiet, and the lights inside Grace Fellowship flickered like a heartbeat. Angela arrived just after 9. She told a friend later that Pastor Harris had called her earlier that day, asking her to come for one final counseling session. She didn't want to go, but he sounded upset, almost desperate. Inside, the church was empty. The only light came from the lamp in his office. According to Angela, the moment she stepped inside, something felt off. His desk was cleared, his Bible open to a verse about judgment. He looked calm, almost too calm, and told her to sit. For a few minutes, they spoke quietly. She said he apologized for making her uncomfortable in the past, for crossing boundaries he shouldn't have. She thought it was over, that he was finally taking responsibility. But then, as she stood to leave, he said something that made her stop. He asked if she was ashamed. When she didn't answer, he looked at her, smiled, and laughed. Not kindly, not nervously, but in a way that made her skin crawl. Angela ran out moments later. She said she didn't look back, and that was the last time anyone saw Pastor Harris alive. The next morning, his body was found by the church caretaker. No signs of struggle, no signs of forced entry. Just the pastor, sitting in his chair, his eyes wide open, as if staring at something that terrified him in his final seconds. By sunrise, police had sealed off Grace Fellowship Church. Yellow tape stretched across the parking lot as neighbors gathered in silence, whispering prayers and rumors. Inside, detectives moved carefully through the small office where Pastor Harris had taken his last breath. Nothing was stolen. No drawers were forced open. His wallet and phone were still on the desk. The only unusual detail was the position of his body. He was seated upright, his right hand gripping a closed Bible, his left hand hanging loosely by his side. There were no marks, no wounds, no clear cause of death. Detectives initially suspected a heart attack, but when the coroner examined the body,